I'm starting to see that trend, and I think that's great.
That's not true. Most Americans need to be deported, and foreigners need to be imported to make the country great again. You got to get rid of the American.
Import garbage, you become garbage.
I know honestly though.
Oh, I want to ask a question actually. Can you tell me what's the woke right? I mean, like everybody has been talking about this topic for
woke right. You want the woke right?
Woke right. Yeah,
the
woke right. People like
Candace
Candace Owens.
Yeah, Charlie Kirk. Yes.
Charlie Kirk.
Woke right.
Bro,
yes.
He's my favorite. He's my favorite. What the fuck?
Look,
how is he woke
I don't
right?
hate the guy. I don't despise the guy. But Charlie Kirk is disingenuous. He's disingenuous.
Like which one? Which exactly?
Okay, you cannot appeal to science, Charlie Kirk, when it comes to, for example, transgenderism, but then you fall back on it when it comes to the Bible. Don't do that.
Explain.
Okay, for instance, when a person says, oh, well, you only have XX chromosomes, XY chromosomes, and secondary sexual characteristics. I agree with you. Simple biology. We all learned it in junior high school. However, since you appeal to science so much and you hold science in such a high regard, right? Why don't you accord it the same respect and regard when it comes to your policies that are based on beliefs, Christian beliefs, immorality?
Oh, so he's poorly managing the balance between science and religion.
Sir. And that's one of the woke. Okay. Another woke thing that Candace Owens. Now, I respect Candace Owens for one thing. The fact that during
anti-Israel stand.
No. During COVID, she stood up. She was against certain authoritarian policies. Okay. She wanted people to know the truth. I agree with her that if you're going to claim that and this is why I go against the left here. If you're going to claim my body, my choice, you cannot turn around and in the same breath tell somebody, when it comes to vaccines, your body, my choice, or your body, no choice. Now, scientifically speaking, yes, take the vaccine. And it's not surprising that the vaccine came up so fast. It was produced and manufactured so fast because pharmacological science, with all of its erroneous past, with all of its shortcomings, we have done good progress in terms of genetics and virology, right? But when it comes to public policy, in my opinion, I would say science has no bearing on it. Science says, look, this is effective stuff. When it comes to the ethics, policy, you take it. You don't want to take it, fine. You've made a choice, you suffer the consequences. So when it came to the battle of narratives between left and right, I respected her for that. Even when, what's her name? I forgot the doctor's name who actually supported her in this too. And she's a neuroscientist. And I love her, by the way. Great scientist in her own respect. And I respected that. But when Candace Owens began towing the line of the idea of this and Israel this and 40,000 and genocide, shut up, Candace. You're telling me, Candace.
Yeah, exactly. That's the reason why I'm so
telling me that one of the judges on the panel of the ICJ that came on the BBC and said that we've never ruled against Israel. We haven't said it's a. You're telling me you know better than the judge? No. And you're toting the same propaganda lines that is being told by Hamas? Shut up, Candace.
Look,
Candace has a problem. Candace has a problem, along with Kanye West. Look, if you have a problem with Leor Cohen, right, then say fuck Leor Cohen. And you should thank Leor Cohen. Because of Leor Cohen, Jay-Z is a billionaire. Because of Leor Cohen, DMX had enough money to do crack. Because of Leor Cohen, Russell Simmons is well off in his retirement.
Yeah.
These guys should be thanking Leor Cohen.
And Navi, Alpha, I thank you guys for, and there's very good points, Alpha. Very good points. Look, many girls have dated Mr. Jeff here, right? Many girls on Clubhouse. Many girls. They have told me personally. If they
Okay.
didn't for Jeff.
This has nothing to do with Jeff. Like, what are you talking about?
Hey, Chief,
You want
Chief,
one of
can
us to date it
can
too?
you let me finish a sentence?
Sure.
Okay. And you know, but none of them, you know, they're all elderly, well-respected women, all of them. And you know, and good on Jeff. I really hats off to Jeff.
That's it?
Left, right, and center. Jeff is getting action. Jeff is getting action on Clubhouse, right? And
Was that it? That was the dumbest mistake I had all night, even from the Islamists.
Okay.
If Jeff is getting action, he's getting action. Who gives a damn? Like,
Well,
nobody cares about what.
I do give a damn, Sheikh, because you should have called me as his personal photojournalist. Anyway, I don't know what to say to that. What do I say to that, bro? I have nothing to say to that. Good for Jeff. Stay healthy, Jeff. Damn, I don't know what to say to that.
You know, Anna Kasparian recently was on berserk mode in Piers Morgan's show, and then she shouted on an Israeli official or something. Did you guys watch that episode? It's wild.
No, I hate P.S. Morgan. He's a cunt. Fuck him.
He's woke right too.
I'll say this, Abby. So there's no animosity, in my opinion, towards Candace Owens. Okay? But Candace Owens, for instance, going on. See, have you seen Candace Owens on Bill Maher's podcast? Did anybody see the segment? If
I
you
watched
haven't,
the Jubilee video.
No.
Candace Owens versus liberals.
That bitch. I love
Right.
Armago. She's just
Yeah.
a Zoom when I want nothing to do with her.
Go watch Candace Owens with Bill Maher. She does not have the audacity, okay, to confront him on controversial issues. That's number one. And she does not have the temerity to make the claims that she does now. Now, when she's trying to pretend this anti-establishmentarianism that she's trying to do, fine. You're trying to be a contrarian, fine, be a contrarian. However, don't start disseminating propagandist and anti-Semitic libels against a nation, poisonous conspiracies, and I mean poisonous because they do cause mental retardation, okay? And rehash the same ones that we've been hearing for decades, if not centuries, okay? So this is the problem. But other than that, you're free to your opinion, man. She hasn't said everything that's unfactual. No, she said things that are also factual. But for Candace Owens, right, with her moralism, come on, Candace. Don't bring 19-year-olds and 20-year-olds from OnlyFans or from any college. Then don't do that.
Yeah.
Charlie Kirk.
can I ask what yours was?
Charlie Kirk is something different. Like Charlie Kirk is one of the best conservative speakers that I've ever came across. I mean, like, he gives points and I buy them, even with my own research and stuff. Yeah.
The Charlie Kirk,
Especially
needs
on
to be
these
consistent.
like small but strong governments and strong borders
No, I'm all
and
for
abortion
it.
issues
I'm for
and
it.
everything.
And-
Yeah.
and-
Can we be honest though, Alpha? You know, Candace Owens, her audience is black, right? Black male and like primarily
I'm not
black.
really concerned about her audience.
white people follow her too.
For me, it's just to be consistent.
No, well, look, I don't think anyone watches her who is not black. If you're not black, you don't watch Candace Owens. Nobody really cares what Candace Owens thinks unless you're black.
Look.
And it's a fact.
Candace Owens has a problem. Let me
This
tell
is
you
the
something.
truth
that's
about
funny.
America. This is the truth about
Candace
America.
Owens had a personal.
Nobody cares what she thinks in America unless you know, maybe a few black people. Even black people don't even care what she thinks.
But for me, it's really not black and white. For me, it's
No, it is. This is the truth. America is racially
She had a
segregated.
disagreement, and she had a very vehement disagreement with Rabbi Shmuley. And after that conversation, Candace Owens cannot speak about Israel without toting Hamas propaganda. look, Miss Candace, you have a problem with Rabbi Shmuley. That's between you and him. But don't try to demonize a nation, okay, for your own personal vendetta.
And then
Don't do
look,
that.
Alpha, the only people falling for it are either the blacks or the black sympathizers. There is a black sympathizer community who is not black in America, but who do sympathize, perhaps because, very dark, insecure about their dark skin or
That's new
You know,
word that
I think that's one of the funniest things
What's
I've
a black
heard
sympathizer, dude?
from these places.
I don't know what black sympathizer means. Do
It's
I
like
get
it's
attacked?
like it's like a rage bait thing from Who's the White Guys that they say it all the time. Candace Owens, I don't like Candace Owens because she's just simply wrong. It has nothing to do with the black white thing. If I didn't like
exactly.
black people, if I didn't like white people, I didn't like Jewish people, I wouldn't talk to none of y'all. But it's always like a white guy being like,
you came from,
all of the black people.
but Achik, you came from Sudan.
Let me land, bro.
You came from Sudan to Australia.
Calm down. Let me land. You can finish after me. It's always like a white guy being like, yeah, it's a black with a cat. No, actually, the people that push white conservatives be like, yeah, it's a black woman can say everything we want to say, but we can't say it from 2016 until like 2023, when you could finally say what you wanted to say. Because for those years, you were such cowardice about it. You let like trans be in front of magazines. You let like lesbians in front of magazines. You let so many people become in magazines. But at that time, you were happy enough to be like, yeah, Candace Owens can just say what we don't want to say. But as soon as she comes out of fashion, you're like, yeah, she just speaks to the black people. No, she doesn't fucking speak to the black people. Most black people
she
detest
doesn't.
Candace Owens, and most Catholics detest Candace Owens. I'm a Roman Catholic. She converted to Roman Catholicism last year, and she doesn't even know the Nicene Prayer. What kind of Catholic becomes a Catholic without knowing the Nicene Prayer? It's just, it's detestable.
No, look, for
And
me,
it's
it's
frankly
just her
disgusting.
journalism.
So don't come here and tell me it's like a black people thing to be like, yeah.
Well,
Candace is
Achik, what I'm trying to say, let me get to the core of the issue, right? You moved from Sudan to Australia, fair, right? And Australia is a great country, right? Sudan is a great country.
No,
Both are
no.
great
Actually,
countries.
let me correct you. I moved from South Sudan to Australia.
Okay, fair enough, and thanks for the correction. However, what I'm trying to get at, you came from majority black nation, South Sudan, and that region, but it's very like highly tribalized. You have all your tribal communities, all these divisions, and then you move to a country like Australia, a very cosmopolitan. Okay. Well, let me finish, Alpha. So Australia is like at least 25 years, 20 to 25 years ahead of America in terms of the racial issue. Australians like
false.
Let me finish. I've seen both countries. In America, race is a very important issue. Okay, and the society and how America works, a race is extremely important, and it's a very crucial component of how the society functions. Not so much in Australia. Australia is a little more cosmopolitan, a little more advanced. Even ahead of Canada. Canada is ahead of the U.S. and then Australia is ahead of Canada. So that should like put things in perspective a little bit for you. Okay, race matters in America. It goddamn matters in America, and I don't care what anybody says. If they say otherwise, they're too much left. They got a little bit of those those horse blinders around their eyes.
But don't you think that it's time to get over racism?
I gotta go. I can't listen to the wisdom of a retard anymore. He's got about as much sense as I slept with him.
I'm so sorry, Jeff.
I understand, Jeff. I understand. Take care, my brother.
I'm mad at you, Jeff. Bye-bye.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Alpha.
Finally, god damn it. Yeah, I can't. My son had nothing to do with it. Yeah, I get it. Look, Israel is a great country. Israel is a great country. Okay, Israeli Jews are amazing people. Alpha can attest to this. Israeli Jews are amazing people. You want to say American Jews? Bruh, give me a break. A bitch slap those American Jews. Because like
you can't even bitch slap yourself. What are you
bitch
doing?
slap,
They've been fighting.
I would bitch slap you back to Cuba right now.
Wait a second.
I would
They've
bitch slap
been
you back to
fighting in
Cuba
Gaza
right.
for 2 years. You've never put on a single uniform. You're not
I
gonna
would bitch slap you
anybody
back to
unless it's
Cuba
your
right
wife,
now.
because you're a white beater. That's
I
what
would
you do.
I would
You're not gonna
bitch
walk
slap
up
you
to an
from
Israeli
Perth
and
to
be
Juba.
like, yeah,
One
I'm gonna
slap.
slap your girlfriend, because they're gonna bitch slap you because they've been
One
fighting
slap.
in
One
Gaza for
slap
years
from Perth to
against
Juba.
terrorism. You've never put on any uniform ever. You're such a pussy. Like
You
one of those people and be like,
you
yeah,
can't
when I
even play
see a Jew,
basketball
I'm gonna
properly.
slap them. But in
The one
reality,
talent
Wait
you
a
have
second,
is
wait a second, wait a second, guys, please,
He's
guys,
a
please.
fucking retard. He's thinking like
Wait.
he's just gonna walk up to a random Jew and be like, yeah,
I
I'm
would
gonna
bitch slap you back to
Wait a
Cuba.
second, wait a
Well,
second.
the armed forces are hard.
Wait a second, let me mediate, okay, let me mediate. S500? S500.
Shabbat shalom.
S500.
Shabbat shalom.
You're not
Yeah.
a retard.
Sure. I'm calling you. S500. I want to talk to you.
Let us speak, brother. Let us speak.
What's your ethnicity?
So basically, my father's side is from Malawi, okay, and my mother's side is actually Pacific Islander.
Pacific Islander and Malawi. Okay. What's your religion?
You know, I was raised a Christian, but now I lean more towards Buddhism. That's my
So
preference.
you're ethnically brown or black? Like, what's your race?
Half African, half Pacific Islander.
Which type of Buddhism are you?
Theravada.
And what year did you become a Buddhist?
2009.
2009? You're old. Fucking hell. But anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I was 11 years old at the time. I was 11 years old. I didn't even tell my parents for 7 years. Right?
So did you get confirmed before you left the Catholic Church?
What do you mean? Did I get confirmed before I went to Catholic Church?
Did you get confirmed to the Catholic Church? Did you get confirmed?
Yeah, when I was a kid, of course. When I was a kid, we used to attend church every Sunday.
You're such a liar, because you get confirmed to the Catholic Church when you're 10 or 11. So many people lie on here. It's ridiculous.
You know, look.
You're such a ridiculous. I'm sick of you. Like, you can't even tell the truth. Shame on you.
You know the biggest shame?
Shame on you.
I'll tell you the biggest shame.
Shame on you.
I'll tell you the biggest shame.
Shame on you. Shut the fuck up. You get confirmed as a Catholic when you're 10 and you're 11 years of age. He's a damn liar. Shame on him.
Seriously.
Fuck that liar.
Seriously. Alpha,
Because at 10 years of age, if you're born a Roman Catholic, that's when you get confirmed. Shame on this disgusting liar for trying to bring shame on people. If you're going to tell the truth, just tell the truth. It's a disgusting thing to do. Pretending you're somebody else. What a shameful thing to do. Is that even allowed in Buddhism? I don't even think it's a Buddhist. Malawi and Pacific Islander. You know how many islands are in the Pacific? It's retarded and ridiculous.
He's not here, he's gone.
It's ridiculous. She's a liar. Because if you ask any Catholic woman you confirm, they'll be like, yeah, 10 years of age, 11 years of age, this is my Pope, this is the bishop.
The thing is, he was hardly speaking English. He can't even speak English. He was hardly doing the American accent.
He's retarded. He's not even American. He's not American. He's probably like Bangladeshi or something. I don't even know. But he's not American or something else like that. It's ridiculous. I can't listen to these people, Avi. If you want to listen to these people, I'll make you a
No,
moderator.
I'm not. If I had the moderator, then I would have kicked him.
I don't want to listen to these liars. They just lie. It's terrible what they say.
Yeah.
It's terrible. I don't know why I have to lie to people. It's terrible.
Are you there?
Look, bro, I'll make you a mod and you can listen to these people, but I don't want to listen to these people. They're just
No, I don't want to
disgusting.
listen to him. I don't want to listen to him.
It's beyond the pale. It's terrible. See, either you take the mod and you talk to him, or I'm just going to end the room.
No, just have the run. It's okay, fine. I've added you. Add me back, okay, brother?
All right, let me add you back. That's a terrible
Where
thing
from,
to do, to lie like that. Huh?
Where you from, by the way? South Sudan?
I'm from South Sudan, but raised in Australia.
Western Australia. Okay, so you're Christian.
Brisbane, Queensland. That's why I'm Christian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
All right.
I just hope that we get rid of jihadism in this planet, That's
Bro,
my-
I fought against jihadism. There's a reason South Sudan exists, because we won.
Yeah.
We won in
So there is no
2011.
national religion or something in South Sudan.
So the religion is Christian, about 80%.
Okay.
The rest of the 19% is animist. And then like 0.1% is Muslim, because we deported them all to the north because we don't want any Muslims in our country. It's a terrible religion to have in any country.
Sure. Exactly. You guys saved yourselves. Yeah.
You don't want that, because they'll start having babies. A Muslim woman has like fucking 20 kids, so you don't want to
you're making 1.5 babies and they're making 5 babies. They're just gonna overpopulate you.
Yeah, they have like 20 kids. We have like 12 million in our country. And we kept Muslim men and Muslim women in our country, we're going to have like 20 million babies in like 10 fucking years or 20 fucking years. Because all they do is breed and they call their kids Muhammad or Yahya, a terrorist name. So we don't want any of that. And that's the reason why we deported them to the north. Now they have a civil war, but that's none of our problem, So when they say pray for Sudan, it's none of our business. It's just Muslims killing Muslims again. It's not our problem.
Since you're from the African continent, I just want to shortly, I want to let you go, but there's a last question. I'm just curious, just because you're an African, so I want to ask you.
You can ask me a question. There's somebody called A that wants to come. Do you want to bring him up?
Okay.
Maybe it could be one of your people.
Okay, so what do you think about Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger doing the coup? Is that good or bad?
Did you say Niger?
Niger.
I want to break up every single of those countries. I want to break up Somalia. I want to break up Western Sahara. I want to break up all those countries. I don't want any Islamic majority Muslim countries in my country.
Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger did a coup against their leaders who were Western appreciated, and then they raised the flags of Russia, and there's a revolution going on these 3 nations. So what do you think about that? That's my question.
I think they're all doing terrible. I think they're all corrupt, and I think they're just stealing money. That's all they're doing. They're all terrible countries. I've been to all 3 countries. They're just terrible countries. You can't do business with them. Every single minister's corrupt. Every single person's corrupt. And they just waited to make enough money to leave, to retire in like the Bahamas, the United States, the European Union, or somewhere else. I don't believe in those pro-African stuff. It's all a lie. It's all a joke.
Ibrahim Traore.
He's a joke. Ibrahim Traore is a joke. He's just...
okay. Everybody's just saying he's the new African hero from whatever.
No, Ibrahim Traore is a joke. He's probably going to die in the next 2 years. Someone's going to shoot him or kill him. He's a joke. He walks around like he's a commander. He was never a commander. He was never an officer. He's a retard that happened to get into power because he orchestrated some coup, But Traore is not a commander in Africa, no. He's probably going to die in the next 2-3 years, so it's not going to last very, very long. He has no legitimacy. He's not building anything. He was saying,
Yeah.
yeah, we're building like, what did he say that they're building? You know, tomato puree? He was like,
Yeah, the name. Yeah.
he was saying that they're building tomato puree. I'm like, you don't need tomato puree. You can get that from anywhere in the whole world. Italy, wherever, you know. It's a terrible
Yeah.
it's happening, yeah.
No, he doesn't want to make any business with the West, so he's a Russian supporter.
I don't care about Russia. Russia is going to bend the knee soon because Russia it doesn't have the will to fight for too long. So these people that hate Russia and what's going on, I think Russia is going to suffer very, very soon. And I just think people like Ibrahim Traore or Joy, they're like Makandu and stuff, you know, Sokote, all those leaders in Africa beforehand that you know all of them. I don't need to repeat them to you. You understand?
Yeah, I understand.
These people are terrible.
But there are some people saying, like, I don't know if it's a false narrative that he's the most, handsome, brave man from Burkina Faso or something. And I'm like, oh, really? Let me talk to an African.
Bro, Burkina Faso, did you know had a dictatorship for the last 40 years before that?
What?
Yeah, before Traore, they had a dictatorship for the last 40 years.
Repeat it again. I didn't get your accent.
Burkina Faso is a terrorist country.
Terrorist country?
Yeah, Thomas Sankara is the first president of Burkina Faso.
Okay.
And he lasted until his best friend killed him until 2014. Burkina Faso has always been, how do I call it, a military dictatorship. He's nothing new, you know.
But he's anti-jihadist. He says like he Muslim or Christian doesn't matter. He just wants to. It's his.
Yeah, but the thing is, like every single week the Muslims take more territory from him. He's not winning the war.
He's claiming to be secular.
Yeah, but the problem is he's not winning the war. Are you looking at the map in Burkina Faso, who's actually winning the war against the Sahel regions? He's not winning. He's losing.
Okay.
He's losing against terrorism. And if he doesn't give up his seat, Burkina Faso is going to become a full-fledged jihadist state. That's what's going to happen. I hope you know that, right?
Yeah.
Social media is not real life. If he doesn't give
but
it up,
social media says that he's like really secular and he's against jihadism and terrorists and all that. Social media says.
They said the same thing about Khomeini. You know, you don't believe social media. You have to go.
Yeah.
They said the same thing about Ayatollah Khomeini. Like, yeah, he's secular. They're gonna call it the Islamic Republic of Iran. It's gonna be democratic. Blah blah blah. Yeah, that didn't happen. You know. Don't believe everything you see in social media. It's all about.
Yeah. That's why I just verify from different sources.
Ibrahim Traore is going to destroy Burkina Faso because he's illiterate, he's uneducated, he can't even speak French properly, he can't even speak Fakasi properly, and he wasn't educated properly. He wasn't even a commander.
Sankara, okay, he's also a good figure.
Yeah, Thomas Sankara was there, but he was a socialist. His best friend killed him before he got there.
Okay. Socialist.
Yeah, he's a socialist. Where are you from originally, so I can compare to your country, so you understand what I'm saying?
I'm from India.
All right, it's like Nehru betraying you to the Muslims. Now you have 200 million Muslims in your country. It's like that.
Yeah, our country has been facing this for the past 1,000 years. The Mughals, they came here, butchered our people, raped our women, destroyed our temples, forcefully converted them. Ask me about it. 1,000 years of brutality.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what exactly he's gonna do. Because he's losing the Sahel, and he's losing areas next to Mali, and he's losing the north part of Nigeria, and he's losing the north part of the Gambia, and he's losing Senegal, because Senegal is a majority Muslim country. He's losing everywhere. He just does a good social media campaign. There's nothing badass about him. He's a weak and a pathetic loser, and eventually he's gonna lose, and you're gonna see it maybe in 2 months, 3 months, maybe Christmas, but you'll see it. The jihadis are gonna take over that part of the world. You'll see what happens. It's gonna be like ISIS all over.
Actually, I heard that there is a famine going around, in Sudan. Is it in North Sudan? I'm not sure. Just asking.
It's in North Sudan, so I don't really give a fuck. It's none of my business.
As expected. As expected. They always want handouts, isn't it?
That's the North Sudanese problem. That has nothing to do with me. I'm South Sudanese. When my people were dying and they were blowing up our churches and they were doing suicide bombing in our buses and all the bullshit they were doing, I don't really care how many people die in North Sudan. I mean, it sounds harsh, but yeah, there's a famine in North Sudan, a problem. The EU go there instead of worrying about Gaza every single day. Gaza. And all these terrorist organizations that work with Gaza, Humanitarian Foundation, other ones. It's not my problem, bro.
Yeah, it shouldn't be. We also had, I am from the same place, India, and we had a chance in 1947 to, for total population transfer. They asked for a separate nation. We gave them two, Bangladesh and Pakistan. But the founding fathers of India, to be frank, were stupid enough not to ask for total population transfer, and a lot of them stayed back.
Nehru and Gandhi screwed you guys. What they did to you guys is unforgivable. It's terrible. They gave you borders. One was Bangladesh, a terrorist state, another border, and one was Pakistan, another terrible state.
And the greatest mistake that we did while our freedom struggle from the British in the freedom struggle is we created a jihadi state for the jihadists, and then we created a secular state for the Hindus, and it was like, what the fuck, dude? Just make India a Hindu country.
Exactly.
It would have been nice.
Why didn't you do that?
But the political party, he's the greatest bastard of all time. His name is Jawaharlal Nehru. He destroyed everything in our country. From the beginning.
They gave you the Congress Party, which is the worst party ever in the history of the
worst
world.
party ever. Now BJP is tightening the balls. Now BJP is doing the good. And BJP is, by the way, the largest political party in the entire planet. It's doing some good and it's also doing some bad. But,
but what
do you say?
Look what hand they gave him. They gave him the Joker. They didn't give him a king or a 10 or a 9 or an 8 or a 7. They gave the BJP a Joker. You started off from nothing, so it's gonna take some time, maybe 20 years,
We are talking about
maybe. Like the BJP. Look what the BJP have to reverse. All this terrorism. Look what happened in Kashmir. Like Kashmir is India.
And then we retaliated, and then we, destroyed the terrorist areas in Pakistan. And we're doing, but that's not enough.
Bro, your people screwed you over, bro. I feel for you. That's why COVID happened in Australia. I said, we have to bring in the Indian people because Indian people in Australia are hardworking. They're very good people. Yeah. I don't want any more Muslims, Pakistanis,
speaking about
terrorists. I want the Indians to come back to Australia, because they canceled.
Speaking about Australia, I really like Avi Yemeni. He has my same name, yeah? You heard about him? Avi Yemeni?
He's the best. He's the best. He's one of the best. He's in Melbourne.
He's one of the best, right? Oh my God, he's such a great guy.
No, he's a great dude. Avi Yemeni is one of the best.
One of the best. He really goes to the pro-Hamas rallies and he trolls the shit out of them, That's the best part.
I go to the pro-Israeli rallies. So right now we have one in Sydney, and my friend is going to go do it on Sunday. They're going to cancel it. And we don't want these people in Australia. You have so many Arab Muslims that they came from Syria as refugees, and after they came in, they have like anti-Semitism. They hate the Hindus. They hate everybody. They hate Christians. They hate Jewish people. They hate everybody. It's a terrible thing what their religion teaches them. I didn't even know what they teaches them, you know. And we're gonna make sure nothing happens to our Jewish community in Australia. That the best we love them, and the Hindu community too. But the Muslim community, they're trying to show force and build a mosque in Western Sydney and going to go to the Sydney Bridge. And I'm like, the problem is like you see those pictures out of like Gaza, as they call it. And the problem with Gaza is like 40% of Palestinians marry their first cousins, so they become inbred. So you see these kids that are malnourished, and they're not malnourished because they're sick or something else like that. And you look beside them, their mother is fat, obese, and just disgusting. And when
It
you
is
look
the
at the
same
mother,
thing.
yeah,
Go ahead, buddy. Go ahead.
I just want to say, you look at their mother beside them, their mother's obese. She's ugly. She's disgusting. She looks inbred. She has like those double eye chins, those double noses, and everything. It's just a disgusting thing to look at. And they want to bring their old traditional pose to every single country. France right now, the reason why France wants to recognize it because they have a 10% Muslim population and they need it for the electoral votes, especially in Paris. They need in London too. 5 of the 12 cabinet members of the UK Islamic Party, they need the Muslim vote, so they can't go against it. That's why they want to do it. Same thing as in Canada. The reason Mark Carney won because 40% of the Canadian people didn't even bother to vote in the federal election. It's a terrible thing that happened. But no, we don't want these Muslims in any country. What they do, they come here, they marry themselves, they don't work, the women don't work, and they're just inbred. It's a disgusting thing that happens, and nobody's willing to call it out because they're gonna get killed. Like that guy in Norway, remember him? Salwan Mamalka. Remember, he used to burn the Quran,
Yeah.
and they murdered him.
And
These people are savages, the animals. I don't care if they come and kill me. I'm not even worried about these Muslims at all whatsoever. Fuck them.
The same problem is there in Europe. I mean, in Britain too. That consanguineous marriage, the marriage between cousins among especially these, and they won't even stop with 1 or 2 child even if they are told that if the babies that they would be having would be mentally challenged and retarded, or like physically also retarded. They actually use it as a tool to gain more, to get more social welfare. And these people are also provided, I don't remember, it's a mobility vehicle. Yeah, mobility vehicle. That is, the state pays for the hospital visits
And
something
social
like that.
housing. And I have to go to work every single fucking day to subsidize these people. It's ridiculous. Why should I go to work every single?
You know, there's this one video that I was watching that day in front of the cathedral. Okay, in front of the cathedral, these people are doing namaz. In front of the cathedral, they are doing the Muslim prayer. And I'm like, why do you need to do it in front of the cathedral? It's in Melbourne, I think. Did you follow that?
Yeah, I saw that. It's a show dominance because in the whole
Like,
country,
we are here to take over. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a show dominance. They're retarded.
And the cathedral responded by ringing the church bells. Loud church bells. Yeah. They retaliated. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Imagine Christians going to Mecca and praying, praise the Lord in front of Mecca. Imagine that. Has that happened? Will it happen?
No, the only reason it happened is the Pope said, yeah, we need to do another crusade. I mean, it took the people in Spain and Portugal 800 years to get that country back. Sometimes it takes a long time, but these Muslims are just retarded. all they do, they just come here and they just have many kids. They breed, they live on social welfare, and then they go and pray. Like on a Thursday in 4 p.m., I'm in my office working. I'm not in the fucking street because I'm not unemployed or doing some bullshit. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous what they're doing. And that's what they're trying to do to every country. Like in France, they threatened them. That's what the France president said. He's going to recognize a Palestinian state. It's ridiculous. Why would you reward terrorism? And even here, all the Muslim chicks, they're the biggest hoes. If you go to university in Australia, all the Muslim chicks, they...
My favorite is the people that always put it on their belt and then they have it clamped there and they just have it on the side. And I look at them and going, I wonder how many times that thing has been knocked off and bumped into, just ripped from your pants and just fall to the floor. And this is why you're paying like whatever price it is for one of these cases when you could have just removed the case and it would have slid easily into your pockets.
Yes. Yes. What do you guys think of the feature, the polling feature?
We've only
You guys
been
like
asking it for 3 years.
I think it's interesting that Chatter was able to deliver it on day one, and it took Clubhouse like 5 years to make. It's crazy. I noticed that Kristen, Serendipity, and Brad have not answered the poll. Norm has not answered the poll either.
I can't make up my mind between two.
No. All four are pretty.
I think they should roll out the video streaming next, like Chatter has.
Ooh, I'm not a big fan of the video. I think audio is diminished when you turn on the video. And if you on Chatter when they were rolling it out, I think Dawn Fields uses it in a good way, like when she's doing the movie trailer stuff, that works. But outside of that, like you get people like Dr. Catherine that'll just make duck lips at the camera and drink wine and play with her hair, and it's just and then just do these random white girl dance moves. I've been in rooms when they were like, hey, everybody turn the camera on. There are 300 people in the room and like 5 people will turn it on. And it's the same 5 people. It's the ones that, it's basically the older women that have Botox. It's very interesting.
I tried it once I think it was with you, Roger, right? Like, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm ugly. I mean, you don't need a live feed. If you really want to know, just...
You're not that ugly.
Oh, yeah. And so, like, no one needs to see that. And plus, what I find fascinating is the people that turn it on. I mean, I'm for it at times because I'm gonna be like, hey, some of you guys who, like, some of the guys out there going, I'm 6'8" and I can bench 500 pounds. I'm just gonna kind of say, I've been calling Cap for a while. It'd be interesting to see if you really did look that way.
I think the problem of why video wouldn't work for me is that, when I changed my PTR to Mojo X, to Black Mojo, if I did that, like, on camera, people would say it's racist to go in blackface. So I think I'm safer this way. The voting's tight, man. Voting is tight. So far, the debt and Islamic extremism.
Those were the two I had a hard time making my mind up about, but I decided to go with the more imminent threat.
That would allow Islamic extremists, because guess what? You have a breakdown of economic factors, and so you'll influx all of that, and people will gravitate to whatever they think will get them by.
Yeah, people are kind of power hungry, aren't they? They'll join places, they'll join groups if they feel like there's more power behind it.
Daniel says communism. He changed his vote. What happened? Hold on, let me look. No, he didn't change his vote. So we now have 45% say Islamic extremism, 45% say the debt, and 12% say communism. So far, 0 people have said that white supremacy is the biggest threat. So it's fascinating.
I was just debating between the debt and white supremacy, and I'm like, I'm not even sure white supremacy is a thing anymore, especially when we have white folks crying about blue jeans, the Sydney Sweeney ad. So, yeah, I don't even know if that's an issue.
Can you explain that to me? Because I remember Beyonce, right? Yeah, Beyonce coming out on a jeans ad saying she had great jeans, right? I mean, didn't she do that? Like, she was laying down, she had a jean jacket on, like bedazzled fucking jeans. Sorry, I'm old. My kids had a bedazzler, but I mean, you know, I recall that.
Oh, so you're saying, so you think that the ad was a nod to Beyonce or like a diss?
No, I just think it was a fucking ad, and it put a hot girl in jeans again. I mean, do you want Hunter Shackelford in jeans, or do you want Sydney Sweeney?
Oh my God.
Yeah, nobody made a big deal about Beyonce's jean ad, but Sydney Sweeney, who I happen to think is smoking hot, and Mojo, if you don't mind, I interviewed her. If you don't mind, if I post a link to my Sydney Sweeney interview in the chat, because I'm actually quite proud of that. They're just jealous, Brad. It's just jealousy. She's smoking hot. She's, if I can say, got great tits. Whether they're real or fake, they seem real to me. And folks are just tripped out. We have a hot young blonde woman promoting blue jeans, and a pun on jeans, and you have tripped out, colorful haired, fringe progressives angry over no reason. I'm glad the jeans sold out in response to this lunacy on social.
Why someone wrote like a widely circulated article about eugenics. It's like fucking ridiculous. America's become really, I don't like eugenics, but America's become very, very anti-intellectual. We should be.
Yeah, we're in the middle of an anti-intellectual swing. You would actually, Austin, you would really enjoy this book written by a dude named Hofstadter. He was a professor at Yale in the 50s. And the book is called American Anti-Intellectualism. And what it does is it tracks the tendency in our country from the start to swing. Hey.
Yeah, people are kind of power hungry, aren't they?
Right.
They'll join places,
Yeah.
join groups.
Right. Did you move your stuff you click out or what?
No.
Oh, I thought for some reason I thought you moved it.
You went down
anyway.
we changed
Anyway, it's called
Yeah, I know I had it.
And the whole point of the book is to point out that the anti-intellectual tendency in America is one that goes on a pendulum. Sometimes we are hyper-intellectual in the trend of, say, a Madison or a Hamilton, and other times we are utterly unintellectual, as in a Washington.
And I think
I don't know if you knew it, but like Washington never had any formal schooling. He was a surveyor by trade.
beyond temporally, I think geographically, it's even more of a phenomenon. I think these days it's a huge thing. But I want to talk about my genetics. That does not mean I'm into eugenics. But yeah, there was a widely circulated article about that. I mean, it's like we live in such a sensationalist, populist, bullshit world. Like, I'd like to be able to talk about genetics without people being like, eugenics, blue jeans and eugenics.
Just for everybody that is unaware, there is a poll feature. Some of you might not be able to see it because you might have to update your app. If you can see it, up above there is a poll. We're asking the question, what is the biggest threat to America? The choices are Islamic extremism, communism, the debt, or white supremacy. If you want to vote, you need to make sure you have the latest updated version, and then you can have your vote counted.
I don't, but it's the white supremacists and the Islamic terrorists. Yeah, they're both pretty bad.
I would say 3 of the 4 are legitimate threats, and 1 of the 4 is no threat at all. But I'll let you guys decide.
Hey Roger, you gotta take a look in the chat at what Vegan says about the quote Jewish influence in America. Apparently we're controlled by the Jews.
Oh, amazing. Amazing. Why doesn't he come up here?
Like being an anti-Semite.
Why doesn't he come up here and tell us about this? That'd be amazing.
Because he knows Brad's gonna rip him to shreds.
Islamic extremism.
Let's hear about it.
It's interesting. The campus protest worked because people like anonymized themselves by wrapping themselves in keffiyehs.
That would allow Islamic extremists.
Hi everyone. Sorry, wrapping themselves in what? Sorry?
And I don't mean to say, mean to say works in a good way. I'm saying the science behind it. Like, very few people are proud of being anti-Semite, and they just put on keffiyehs and became like raging redneck anti-Semites.
Yeah, that's the thing. Mark Rubio was just talking about this. Hi everyone, and he was saying that it doesn't make sense to protest against a government that you're not a citizen of, because they're finding that there are protesters who are on student visas. I thought that was a good point. I mean, I would not go to Japan and protest their laws, because I would consider myself a guest and not a citizen, right? So I don't understand why. Sorry?
In my classmates, when I was studying in Republican Ireland, very conscientious about that.
Right, sorry.
Isn't it unlawful for a student on a student visa to be protesting?
Well, this is the problem, which is that if you're not a citizen, and by all means, there are people who study and become one, but if you're not voting, then it doesn't make sense to protest. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think people should just have self-control. Like, if you're a visiting student, you should have dialogue and whatnot. But like wrapping a bunch of like multi-millionaire trust fund babies in keffiyehs and convincing them to be raging anti-Semites based on a bunch of sensationalist photojournalism is not like the spirit of the law. I think students visiting on student visas should be able to speak collegially and politely and list their views, and you can often tell they aren't American based on their accent, yada, yada, yada.
Right, but the thing is like, for me, it's not about what necessarily they're protesting. It's the fact that you shouldn't protest in a country that you can't vote in, if that makes sense.
That does. Yeah, they should be allowed to dialogue and be like, oh, in my country we do this. But yeah, they should not, especially, they should never be violent protesting. Yeah, that's something they should extremely
Well, that would prevent them from, I mean, anything on their record would also prevent them from maybe being renewed, right? Their visas or their citizenship being approved or anything like that.
No, they would be deported if a student acted in a violent protest, or even if you break a law. You're not you can, depending on the administration and depending on the court. Like if you get a traffic ticket, they're probably not going to deport you. And more than likely, now if you were doing 100 in a school zone and trying to evade police, they're going to deport you. So it depends on the cases. But if you're at a violent protest and you're speaking out against America, for instance, and you're a student and you're on here on a visa, you get a list of things that you are not allowed to do and how you're supposed to act, and you get a book of that saying these are the rules you must follow and abide by while you're here as a guest in this country.
Right. I mean, there needs to be some basic respect and boundaries, right? Like, I wouldn't dream of going to a country where I'm there temporarily and then protest because I don't vote, right?
Well, hold on, Sabina. Speaking of not voting, you haven't voted in our poll either.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is there a poll on here?
At the top of the page, if you don't see the poll, you don't have the latest version of this app. So I just wanted to let everyone know that there is a poll posted to the top of the room. We currently have 4 choices to what is the biggest threat to America, and we've got some contenders on here. So if you haven't downloaded the new app, make sure you download it so you can take advantage of this new polling feature. It's very
interested in the poll, but I want to. Is it a poll where you could select more than one thing? I mean,
No, but I hate polls like that. I hate polls where you can select more.
Yeah, I like those though.
I know, but they don't make sense.
Sabina, nice to meet you. You have a really cool name. You have the same name as one of my favorite, like alt rock, jazzy, multilingual singers.
Oh, thank you. She's I got it from a Keira Knightley movie where she was a psychiatric patient for Freud. But yeah, it's a nice name. Thank you. But before I was Samia, but what I was gonna say was, yeah, Mark Rubio spoke about this because it's just unheard of that you come to a country and you protest, you know? Sorry,
it's not unheard of because you have protests going on in Europe right now, all over. You have Ireland, you have England, you have Sweden. You had a group of Americans go to Egypt and thought they could protest for Palestinians or Gaza, whatever you want to label them. And they thought they could violate the laws. You have protests going on all over the world.
And it's interesting, people in the Northeast, like, why don't they protest at the United Nations? Like an international diplomatic zone, like they could be there and protest. Not that I encourage like tons of protesters to be there, but it's good designed architecture. They have the gun tied in a knot sculpture, which is pretty neat looking.
I don't know. I just assumed that if you are a citizen, then you have the full rights. But some of the people, maybe they don't ever want to be American. Maybe that's why. But yeah, I just would assume that a citizen would be the person that protests because they vote and so on. I mean, if they wait a while, they probably could become citizenships, you know, because America needs, you know, good students and so on. So I wish they just waited, but then it becomes like almost like a stain on them.
Well, so you're allowed to protest. You're just not allowed to protest outside the conditions of your visa. So that means like you can't support a terrorist group. So if you are, say, on the Palestinian side of the argument, it would mean you could say, yay, Palestine, we want these people to be safe. What you couldn't do would be, yay, Hamas, we need to keep these people safe. Saying yay, Hamas is almost always a violation of one's visa, which you then end up getting into like First Amendment jurisprudence, which I won't go down that rabbit hole because I can't sketch it out entirely.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Marshall, but it doesn't matter what they're protesting. I'm saying it's a bit odd to protest when you're not a citizen of a country. Like, I wouldn't go to Japan and protest.
Yeah, I feel like it's a conscientiousness thing. Yeah, I feel like it's just like people should just have like a tact. Like if you're on a student visa, like you should collegially express your views. Maybe you could treat your protester friends to coffee afterward.
Hey, can we bring up the Twawa Hawaii? I can do this. I'm a mod again. Hold on. I'm feeling frisky today. Where is this guy? Young? Yeah, come on up here, Young. What the fuck, dude? Like, explain it. Kill all the Jews and send all black people back to Africa. I gotta hear this fucking weird ass fucking nationalistic fucking bullshit that you're gonna try to spin. So please tell me.
Well, hold on. Before you do, I just want, while he's talking, everybody to go ahead and report the comment that he has in the chat so we can get him kicked off the app. Go.
That's what you came up to say, is to give us an emoji and some fucking weird bullshit comment because you're a cuck and you can't actually do anything?
You're telling me you're not a nationalist? You don't love America?
Oh, I love America.
Well, it doesn't sound like it. You don't sound like a nationalist.
I believe my nation should be number one. I believe all the people in this land, regardless of what race, skin, culture,
how are you going to do that? How are you going to turn your nation into a number one nation?
Well, considering that I was the one that wore a uniform and fought, I seem to have accomplished that.
Yeah, you fought for the Jews, for the Jewish cause.
Good. The Jewish cause? Really? I'm sorry. Which Jewish cause was I fighting for?
Which
Jewish cause? Come on. Which overwhelming? Please tell me which Jewish leader?
Which
that?
I'm
assuming you're talking about Israel. So which Israel?
Where did you serve?
Was
Where
that,
did you serve?
Where
did you serve?
Israeli? Where did you be, Cuckboy? Listen, I'm willing to have this because I really want. I really want you to piss me
Faggot,
off.
nigger.
But
I want to know. I want to know where the fuck you served.
Come stain. I mean, what do we got here? Your mother was a lot lizard who squirted you out on a prom night dumpster. What do you want? Fuck, I could go that all day long.
By the way, Paula, I was looking at your profile and accidentally hit the wrong button. I apologize. That was me.
I know, no problem. Don't worry about it.
Anyways, look, it's funny. The nationalists are a weird bunch. They claim to love America, but they don't love the things that made America great. They're literally anti-capitalists. And if the guy didn't have such a foul mouth, we could have had some fun with it. But I'm not going to just let somebody with Tourette's sit up here and shout stupid shit like that. So
my issue with them is that they're not American. They're not nationalists. You can be Paula. Paula, you're Italian, right? She's a nationalist. She loves her country. She wants her country to succeed. Be a nationalist. Happy for her. Yeah, go, girl. You do it. You Italians rock it out. Spaghetti and meatballs, lasagna, all the fucking way. Have fun. Take that. Leaning Tower of Pisa. Go ahead. Have it. You rock that shit. You own that shit. Have it. Your country looks like a boot. It's fucking cool. You've got it. But that's not nationalism, Roger. That's that fucking WASP behavior, that white Anglo-Saxon Protestant bullshit, that these
Brad,
kids do.
trust me, we have a lot of people like that in Italy as well. I mean, unfortunately,
I understand they do, but
it's
they're
a
not.
disease that we have everywhere in the world. This absolute.
But they're not nationalists because they don't want their country to succeed.
Not. No,
they
right.
want their country to fail because, quite literally, if you kick these guys aren't the ones that are drivers in the economy. They're not building massive infrastructure projects. They're not running for offices. They aren't governing in a particular way that is far more efficient, more accountable. They're not appropriating funds. They're not reducing taxes. They're not building homes, highways, hospitals. They're not doctors and surgeons. These idiots sit there and are fry cooks and live off of EBT. So please tell me where these so-called nationalists, they're not nationalists. You can be a nationalist. It should be a proud thing. Yeah, you're damn right I'm a nationalist. I want America. I love my country. I have literally put my ass on the line more times than I can count for my country. And I'll do it until the day I die. That's great. But I love all the people in this country. And if somebody outside this country harms one fucking hair on their head, I would personally come and take them out. I would literally drink bourbon from their skull as I stood on top of the pile I left for touching one American's hair. That's the difference. That's not these guys aren't nationalists. They're just retarded fucking inbred swine that came out of the back hills of Kentucky.
What did Kentucky ever do to you?
It's a big-ass fucking state with two last names. That's what it did. They need to have a diversification.
What do you guys think of the poll feature so far? You guys like it?
Yeah, I do, actually.
If this was season 1 of Clubhouse, there's no way the poll would be holding up the way it is. We would definitely see a different choice that would be number 1.
I have the suggestion that change the communism to socialism because many people
think socialism isn't communism. So
no, communism is the middle state before you get to the end state of socialism.
Right, thank you, Mark.
I had good teachers in college. I actually learned stuff.
I would say the problem isn't just communism. I think I broadened it to just be against anybody that's anti-capitalism. Like you could have whatever economic theory that you have, but if it's not superior to free market capitalism, then what the fuck is the point? Now some are more dangerous than others, but we've now got these damn Republicans running around, bragging about being anti-capitalist. We heard in a room yesterday people being, all for, putting their hand on the scale of the market, and calling for economic intervention. And, the anti-capitalists come in many forms.
Wait, did that guy come back with his friends yesterday?
No. That guy did not come back. Did not. Welcome, CEO. Welcome, Gildas. Welcome, El Normo. We have the poll feature up. If anybody wants to jump in, there's a couple things going on. If you want to submit an idea to Save America, that would be great. And if you would like to vote in the poll, please do. If you can't see the poll that's posted above, it's because you don't have the latest version downloaded onto your phone of Clubhouse. We want to thank Paul and Rohan for this latest update. It only took them 5 years to get a feature that Chatter rolled out in version 1. So amazing.
Where are the 5% that believe that white supremacy is the problem?
Oh, they vote and dip. They don't stick around. Harry, what you want to do is you want to delete the app and then just reinstall it. If you don't see an update in your phone, if you don't see the update, then just delete the app, reinstall it.
I've never done deleting the app, but what's gonna happen?
If you go to the App Store and then just click update, you'll be kicked out, but you can come right back if you have an iPhone. That's how it works for me, and it works perfectly.
All right. Okay. So I'll go on to the App Store and.
Just type in Clubhouse and then click update, and it'll update, kick you out of the room, and then you can come back in. And
all right. Okay. I'll try it. Thanks, Brett.
No problem.
I haven't heard any ideas yet. Ideas to save America.
So I'll address the debt. So you can reduce non-Medicare Social Security spending by 5% for 5 consecutive years, increase the corporate tax rate by 5%, and you would get us close to a balanced budget. We'd only be about $300 billion in the hole, so that would go a long way in saving America.
Except you'd have to lock down the borders. You couldn't allow any immigrants in that time frame. You couldn't bring in any immigration because they would be added to a lot of those programs upon entry or upon gaining citizenship, etc.
Yeah, I think that's not a bad idea, CEO. Anything directionally towards an improvement is something that I would support. That being said, that in order to pay off right now $37 trillion, let's just say that interest was waived on the debt somehow. It would still you have to have $1 trillion surplus for 37 years, or $500 billion surplus for 74 years. We're not paying off this debt unless we do something dramatic, and so maybe we should start talking about ending Medicare and Social Security?
Well, you don't have to pay off the debt. All you got to do is stop it from exploding. So we lose 1.7 to 2.1 trillion a year. If we drop that to losing 300 billion, then number one, you'd be within range to be able to get to a balanced budget. And number two, your GDP growth can handle the slower amount of adding debt.
Why do we accept that we should spend more than we take in, though?
So we shouldn't, but the issue is that, like, we dug a grave for ourselves, right? It's like when you do a corporate turnaround, if your company is losing $100 million a year, then your first goal is to reduce that significantly. You're not just going to get it to zero the next year because you've got too many sunk costs you got to deal with. And in our case, the sunk costs are even more complex and more burdensome than what a company has.
Yeah, I think the problem that we face is that not only do we have 37 trillion in debt, but we still have a $2 trillion annual deficit. The third largest line item in the budget is interest on the debt. So we're not even paying the debt, we're just paying the interest on the debt. And so then the two biggest line items that we could reduce that would help us to reduce the debt are Medicare and Social Security, and nobody's interested except for myself and Hanson, to maybe Gildas, in talking about what we could do to alleviate that.
I mean, if you're going to cut Medicare overall, which you could, I think shifting it to the states for a matriculation program, because we don't have, how do I word this a little better? If you cut Medicare, you cut the pay-fors, like who's going to pay for the medical bills, you're going to end up causing a lot of financial harm. It's like if we just turned it off tomorrow, is how I'm expressing this, and maybe I'm not articulating it right. We would cause a financial collapse in the healthcare system itself. That's already under strain in the U.S. because, again, we only have like 9,000 hospital systems that cater to 350 million people. So with that extent going on, if you were to turn that off rapidly, it would massively have an impact. And it would be a loss of care, loss of life, et cetera, go down the list. Could you matriculate people off of Medicare? Yes, and CEO is correct on that. You would have to find, at least I think he was going in this way, you would have to find a way to matriculate Medicare down to a level where you could cut it off and the impact wouldn't be dire in terms of the medical community that provides the service and the impact to the people. I'm for it. I don't think Medicare should continue the way it is. It's bloated. It's overpriced. CMS does not do a great job at pricing as people think. And there's a lot of issues in terms of what gets thrown around in overall into the department of the government. If you were going to build the infrastructure and invest more privatization into hospitals, more rural care, you're going to have to roll back the ACA. You're going to have to somehow figure out a way to start to reduce that one as well. And you're going to, which will have an impact on, say, other programs, which would be CHIP, like Child Health Plus. You would have to figure out a way to roll that program back a little bit. And you're going to have to matriculate people off. Now, you can shift these to the states and allow the states to do it by utilizing private and state-funded partnerships in order to provide the healthcare while building those infrastructures up. But you wouldn't be able to just cut Medicare off. That will never happen. And if it did, our political leaders are really fucking dumb. It just, the harm that I see is just, it would be on a scale that I would never like to see. It would, like a Soviet Union type collapse would occur in that field.
Well, we don't have to cut it immediately. We can always give it a period to wind down. Like you said, the drop in matriculation, and maybe it's even faster than that. But we got to decrease the scale. And then also not just the Medicare, Medicaid, Medicare, everything has to be privatized.
Oh, I don't think the privatization is such a good idea, but if the only thing the United States government decides to do with its social programs is privatize them and get rid of the debt, I don't like privatizing, but I do love getting rid of the debt part.
Well, here's another related idea is you could privatize like 33, 40% of Social Security in terms of giving people the option to have it invested in the market. And then the government could get some sort of management fee, just like, any institution does for that, right? It could be simple Dow Jones Index Fund or whatever it is, but that would, one, lower some costs. Two, it would actually increase the amount of people are getting out of Social Security. And then number three, it would increase revenue for the government. So that would get a lot of money.
Why wouldn't we just say anyone born in 2026 going forward will not be taxed for Social Security, nor be able to receive benefits at Social Security, and when the last person that dies off that contributed to the system, if there's any funds left, we'll receive whatever is left over on that, and then that's it, and we just end the program. I would just say cut Social Security and give them back to the people.
Yeah, so the issue with that is you create a buzzsaw, right? And in 18 years, you end up having less people contributing to Social Security than you normally would, and so therefore, there's going to be sets of people who don't get it. So you basically are screwing everybody who is under 46 at the time that you put that plan together. So that's the challenge with that.
Not necessarily. I mean, Social Security is defunct now, right? It's not operating on a positive ratio. It doesn't have a 1-for-1 match. It doesn't have a 2-for-1 match. I think it has a 2-for-1 match on the inverse, right? So it's being withdrawn and monopolized for multiple uses, and the income stream that's coming into it is not being replenished. It's not able to replenish now. So my solution is just let it go, and we'll see the end of this program, and I'll put accountability back on people. I'm sorry if you were expecting when you reached what is the age of retirement? I don't know, fucking 60, 65. For it, I'm gonna say, hey, you know what? You don't get this program. You're not gonna, you're responsible for your retirement or what you're going to do with your life. I don't get the idea that I have to be dependent on the government to worry about certain things. Now, if you were going to keep SSI or SSDI, which would be disability for people that are truly disabled, not for those that ate 400 pounds of ho-hos and then say want to claim a disability because they're overweight and can't walk from here to there, or they smoke 20 packs of cigarettes in a day, or drink 10 bottles of booze every day, then I would say for those that are truly disabled, yes, the U.S. government can universally apply supporting needs to help cover assistive devices, therapies, et cetera, go down the list.